Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan and I am a homeschool mom to 6 kids. Today's video is about homeschool best kept secrets, and it is a collaboration hosted by my friend Rachel over at 7 and All. So Rachel is a second-generation homeschooler with so much wisdom and the creator of an awesome preschool curriculum. And I am really excited about checking out this playlist. All of us mamas are sharing our best kept secrets in homeschooling. Now, my video may not necessarily be a secret. However, I did want to share all about co-ops today. So whether or not you're involved in one, have been in the past, or are just thinking about it, hopefully I've got you covered. So let's talk homeschool co-ops. Okay, so co-ops. There are many different types and styles of co-ops out there. There are many different styles and types. There are extracurricular type co-ops where the classes or activities that are offered there are more extracurricular type activities. There is also a more academically focused co-op, and there is also some that provide a combination of offerings that are both extracurricular and academic, which happens to be how our co-op is set up that we participate in. The next thing that I want to talk about is the other types of co-ops. There are parent-led co-ops where it is a true cooperative in the sense that any classes or activities that are led or taught are actually taught by parents of children within the co-op. Then there are more academically focused ones where they actually have teachers or someone who they feel is qualified to actually teach the different classes. They are hired or offered scholarship for their own kids to attend that cooperative by being a teacher role. There is also another option that is a hybrid co-op, which sometimes is referred to as a university model, which typically is a more academically focused cooperative that meets 2 to 3 days a week with an actual teacher teaching classes, and then they do independent study at home on the days that they aren't in the classroom. Now, I don't endorse any specific one. I think everybody has to decide for themselves if they are going to do a co-op and what co-op best fits their family and their needs. So there are pros and cons to each of those, but I'm going to focus more so on our personal experience with a co-op for this video, but I'm also going to give some tips and tricks and things like that that would apply to any of them. Okay, so our specific co-op we have actually been a part of. This is now the 7th year that we have been a part of our co-op. The way our co-op is made up is it is a parent-led cooperative. However, it offers both academically focused classes as well as extracurricular. There is a wide range of offerings, anywhere from dance from an actual dance studio to guitar lessons. There has been piano lessons in the past. There are also classes like 5 in a row for the younger kids, Galloping the Globe, which is a geography and cultures study class, Story of the World, which is a more academically focused class, novel studies, cooking classes, like cake decorating and things like that. As well as physical education, and then for the upper grades, some more lab type sciences such as chemistry and biology with full-on labs, and typically the parents that teach those either have a college degree that focuses sort of in that area, or they have some expertise in those areas, as well as some different math classes as well. So we have a very wide range of offerings at our co-op, and that is one of the reasons why I really like it. The next thing is we really like our co-op because it is a faith-based co-op. However, it is interdenominational, which means that there are people from all denominations at our co-op, and it really makes a really awesome dynamic actually. And these people have become my quote tribe. And that is one of the pros for sure that I love about our co-op, is that we are all like-minded, in the sense that one of the purposes of educating our children at home is because we want to grow them and disciple them in our faith. And so having other like-minded mamas and daddies that are part of our co-op, it makes it really nice. The other thing I really like about is the fact that they do offer lab type classes for older ages. And this can be super helpful when you are homeschooling those upper grades, which my oldest is in middle school now. And so we are moving into those more academically focused lab type sciences and things like that. And anytime I have the opportunity to have another parent who is very well versed or has expertise in a certain area of study, I would love to utilize that, especially in regards to actually being able to offer full-on lab classes for science, like chemistry and biology, and getting to participate in it full on, whereas we wouldn't necessarily be able to provide that exact setup at home. Having that available at our co-op is just an amazing resource to have on hand. And along with that comes a lot of encouragement for me as a mom who is moving into those older grades, being encouraged by those veteran mamas who have already graduated some kids out. And I love being able to come alongside these newer homeschooling mamas just coming in as well, and being able to lend some encouragement to them as well. And so that is another reason why I love being part of a co-op community. Okay, so let's talk about some cons, because there are some, and some of you who may have been part of a co-op in the past may have experienced some of these cons. The number one con I would say probably is that it is a day away from home, and all of us mamas who homeschool know how important it is that we love our at-home days. At least I do. And there are some days when, honestly, as much as I love our co-op, I wake up and I'm like, oh, I really don't want to leave the house today. But that could be a con for a lot of people. So that is why I listed that as a con. And another thing along with that is it means that it can end up being a day away from home and away from the studies that you have already decided to do with your children. This is where it comes in really important and really handy that you consider beforehand what your needs are as a family. If you are going to be part of a co-op that requires a lot of at-home or outside of co-op time to do different projects or assignments or things like that, then it can impede on your home and what you're already doing in your studies there. So you want to be mindful of that if you are considering a co-op, and that can actually put a damper on your co-op experience overall if you're trying to balance all the things you have to do for co-op along with all the things that you are trying to teach at home. The other thing that I think can sometimes be common is that maybe you don't jive with the atmosphere or with the other families that you're in a co-op with. This is always a really unfortunate kind of situation, but I'm going to go over a few ways where you can hopefully avoid that situation here in just a second. So now that I've listed off a few cons, which some of you may have more cons, I think it really honestly depends on your own experience, but I'm going to go over some tips if you are considering or looking for a co-op. The first thing that I would suggest is to ask around. Sometimes we can get the best information from people who are part of co-ops or who have experienced it themselves. However, you might want to also be careful with this because not everyone has the same experience, and if someone had a bad experience, they may speak louder to you than someone who has had a really positive experience. So if you're gonna ask around, make sure to filter out those responses and really take into account the consistencies from the different viewpoints. The next thing is to set expectations. Before you even consider any co-op, you need to set expectations for what you are wanting or looking for based on your family's needs. This is super, super, super important. You don't want to overwhelm yourselves, which is what I was talking about in one of those cons. If you are looking for something that is just extracurricular, go with that. Look for that. If you are looking for something to supplement what you are doing at home, look for that. If you are looking for something that is purely academic focused that you are just going to support at home, but the main focus be at the co-op, you want to keep that in mind too, because those are really, really important things. And if you don't keep those in mind ahead of time, you can maybe set yourself up for not liking your co-op experience. So along with that, one of the things that I do when I choose the classes my kids are going to be in our co-op is I actually will go through and I will look at our curriculum or our needs for curriculum and then choose classes that way. So in the past, my oldest son actually took a grammar class that was very intensive. And so on Mondays, I decided to utilize that to my advantage, because on Mondays, he would be taught by a mom who has an actual degree in English, all about grammar, using analytical grammar. That was the name of the curriculum, and it's fabulous, but it is very intensive. So she would teach that on Mondays, full on, and then throughout the week he would just complete work at home that would go along with the class to have it ready for Monday. So I honestly, that year, it was actually really nice because I didn't have to worry about teaching the grammar aspect because she had an expertise in it, and it worked out really well. You can do the same thing with sciences. I know at our co-op, there's always somebody that is teaching one of the Apologia sciences, or for example, I teach Story of the World at our co-op. So moms will put their children in my history classes so that I teach it for an hour to them on Mondays, and then throughout the week they just have some assignments and reading that goes along with what we have learned to get ready for the next week. So farming out those subjects. So keep those things in mind when you are looking at co-ops. The last thing you want to do before you decide on a co-op to be a part of is to actually take a tour of the co-op. Now, I know our particular co-op offers a complete tour on a day when we actually have co-op. Parents and their children can come in and experience and sit in on classes and have the experience of a day of co-op, just so they can see what it's like and see if it is actually going to be a good fit for them. Now, that is everything that I have for you today pertaining to co-ops. I would love to know down in the comments below if you are or have been a member of a co-op in the past or present, and maybe share your experience down there. Hopefully it is a positive one, or at least maybe a positive spin can be put on it. Or if you are considering a co-op, or if you have any questions, make sure you put them down in the comments below. Make sure you check out Rachel's channel. I will link it in the description, along with the playlist, to find out some other best kept secrets of homeschooling. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I will see you on future videos. Thanks so much, guys.